Hey guys, Vance here. So, in the late 80s and 90s, something magical happened in the world of cars. Executive sedans weren't just machines to ferry business people from meeting to meeting. They were statements. They carried engineering philosophies, cultural identities, and in some cases, legends that would outlive their makers. Today, we are diving into five modern classics, cars that defined an era and still turn heads decades later. From the sharp precision of BMW to the over engineering of Mercedes, from Toyota's rebellious streak to Nissan's underground sleeper, and Lexus' world shaking debut. This isn't just about cars. This is about the soul of an era. First things first, let's move to Munich, 1998. BMW unveils the E39 M5. At first glance, it looked almost ordinary, a 5 Series in a sharp suit. No wild flares, no oversized spoilers, just subtle aggression. But that subtlety was the trap. Beneath the understated design sat one of the most ferocious sedans ever built. The heart of it was the S62 V8, hand-built, naturally aspirated, 4.9 liters of precision, 394 horsepower, a red line past 7,000 RPM, and no automatic option. If you wanted to drive this car, you had to do the work, 6-speed manual only. But power wasn't the whole story. The E39's magic was its balance. Perfect steering feel, a chassis that seemed telepathic, and the ability to flow down a winding road with grace and menace in equal measure. It wasn't just fast, it was precise. For some, though, it became more than precision. Enter Georgi Tevadze, a Georgian street drifter whose E39 M5 became infamous. His midnight runs through Tbilisi weren't just reckless stunts. They revealed the car's duality, an executive sedan by day, a rebel's weapon by night. Tragically, George's life ended not at the wheel, but as a passenger, in the very car that cemented his legend, proof that machines cannot leave us, carrying both our victories and our ghosts. The E39 M5 wasn't just another BMW. It was the point where business and madness met, the ultimate expression of what a driver's sedan could be. Next, we have the Mercedes-Benz W124 500e. Across Germany, Mercedes had its own masterpiece, the W124. If BMW built scalpel-sharp driver's cars, Mercedes built tanks with leather seats. The W124 was over-engineered to the point of madness. Double-paned windows, suspension designed for cobblestones and autobahns, and reliability that turned them into taxis, still working 30 years later. But then came the 500e, built in collaboration with Porsche, assembled by hand and hidden under understated bodywork. On paper, it was a family sedan. On the autobahn, it was a predator, 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds. In the early 90s, that was Ferrari territory. Yet, the beauty of the W124 wasn't just the numbers. It was the philosophy. While the BMW tempted rebels, the Mercedes reassured perfectionists. It didn't ask you to drive hard. It promised you could, if you wanted. Quiet power, subtle dominance. Meanwhile, in Japan, Toyota was cooking up its own response, the Chaser 2R5. On paper, it looked like just another mid-size sedan. In reality, it was Japan's version of the BMW E34. Rear-wheel drive, a turbocharged 1JZ, and just enough luxury to pass as respectable. But here's the twist. While the Germans built cars for the autobahn, the Chaser became a legend on Japan's winding mountain passes. It was the hooligan in a suit, a car that could pull off a boardroom commute in the morning and a smoky drift battle at night. That duality gave the Chaser its cult status. It wasn't trying to beat the Germans at their own game. it was creating its own, blending Japanese tuning culture with executive comfort. If the Chaser was the loud sibling, the Nissan Laurel was the quiet operator. Built on the same lineage as the Skyline, the Laurel offered RB engines under a sleek, understated body. It was never a superstar like the Skyline GTR, but that was its strength. It flew under the radar. For enthusiasts, it became the insider's choice, the car you picked when you wanted Skyline DNA without the Skyline spotlight, a sleeper in every sense. Today, the Laurel is a cult classic, rare outside Japan but adored by those who know. It represents a philosophy we don't see much anymore, subtlety with teeth. And then came the disruptor, the Lexus LS400. In 1989, Toyota launched Lexus in the US with one mission: beat the Germans at their own game. And they did. The LS400 was smoother, quieter, and more reliable than anything BMW or Mercedes had on offer. It wasn't about drifting or chasing. It was about redefining luxury. Whisper quiet cabins, bulletproof reliability, and pricing that undercut the competition. The LS400 didn't just earn respect, it shook the industry overnight. Lexus forced Mercedes and BMW to rethink what luxury meant. It was the calm, calculated assassin of the luxury sedan world. So, what do these 5 cars tell us? The BMW E34 taught us that driving should be felt. The Mercedes W124 showed us what over-engineering really means. The Toyota Chaser gave us rebellion in a suit. The Nissan Laurel proved that subtlety can have a bite. And the Lexus LS400 changed the rules of the luxury game forever. Different countries, different philosophies, yet all of them are bound by one truth. They were built in a golden era, before electronics dulled sensations, before cost-cutting compromised quality. That's why they are not just old cars. They are modern classics, and maybe, just maybe, they're reminders of what we've lost and what we still crave when we get behind the wheel. Hit like if you enjoyed the video.